What if this month isn't about control, but surrender? What if the doors closing now are actually pointing you toward a version of you who's freer, lighter, and more aligned than ever before? September brings sacred pivots and deep awakenings. With two powerful eclipses, Saturn retrograding back into Pisces, and Mars igniting new momentum, the universe is rearranging your path in ways you can't ignore. By the end of this month, you'll understand what chapter is closing and why, where you're being invited to expand, and how to align with your higher purpose without chasing, forcing, or controlling. So find your rising sign and let's dive into the energy that September 2025 has in store for you.
Aries rising. So this month, your power lies in inner integration, redefining priorities, and releasing what drains your spirit. Now, starting with September 1st, Saturn retrograde enters Pisces. So this is your 12th house, and it's also making a sextile to both Pluto and Uranus. So this is a major turning point in your inner world. Saturn retrograding through your 12th house reopens deep healing around subconscious blocks, ancestral patterns, and old spiritual burdens. But this time, you have support. With the sextiles to Pluto in your 11th house and Uranus in your third, this is bringing breakthroughs through community, visionary thinking, and unlearning limiting beliefs. So this is the time to break generational loops and rewrite the mental scripts that have been quietly shaping your choices. Now on September 3rd, we have Jupiter in Cancer making a trine to the North Node in Pisces. So this is your 4th and 12th houses. So home, family, your roots, these are all becoming portals for soul growth. Jupiter lights up your emotional foundation, and with its harmonious aspect with the North Node in your 12th, this is showing that ancestral healing, home based business ideas, or reconnecting with your inner safety will realign you with your higher path. The stability that you crave starts from within. Now, on September 6th, Uranus begins its retrograde in Gemini. So, this is your third house. So, your communication patterns, any sibling dynamics, and even the way that you process information are shifting beneath the surface. Old conditioning may resurface for review, but this isn't regression, it's a reclamation. So expect sudden insights about your mental habits, your neighborhood environment, or how you express your voice online. Innovation flows when you stop thinking in the ways that you've always been taught. Now, on September 7th, we have a full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. So this is a karmic release point, something hidden. It could be fear or grief or even outdated coping mechanisms are going to reach a closure. This eclipse clears unconscious blocks and invites deep spiritual surrender. Rest, forgive, and let your nervous system integrate before leaping forward. September 19th, Venus enters Virgo. So this is your 6th house. So your daily rhythms, your well-being, and your work environment are all ready for a glow up. Venus brings harmony and flow into your routines, and this is inviting you to infuse pleasure into productivity. So, upgrade your rituals, refine your workspace, and focus on small sacred habits that restore balance between service and self care. Now, on September 21st, we have a new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo. So, this is still your sixth house being lit up. Now, this eclipse is going to set a new 6 month chapter for your health, your work, and your energetic boundaries. So, if you've been overextending yourself, this is your moment to prioritize sustainability. Redefine how you use your time, your energy, and your talents. You're building a routine that nourishes, not depletes you. On September 22nd, Mars enters Scorpio, which is your eighth house. So, your emotional depth, shared resources, and intimacy zones are going to be intensified. Mars here activates transformation, both financially and spiritually. So you're being asked to face patterns of control, trust, and emotional merging head on. So let your courage lead you into deeper healing and authenticity. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy of this month is first to ensure that you create spiritual space. Saturn's return to your 12th house is calling for rest, journaling, and releasing outdated fears. Next is to redefine home and safety. So explore ancestral healing, declutter your space, or revisit home based business ideas. Next is to audit your mental patterns. With Uranus retrograde, pay attention to how your thoughts shape your reality. Next is to choose sustainable success. So build routines that honor your nervous system, not just your productivity. And finally, be sure to lean into emotional courage. Mars invites you to reclaim your power by deepening intimacy and healing trust wounds. A great affirmation for the month of September is I release the weight of what no longer serves me. My foundation is secure, my voice is powerful, and I trust the transformation unfolding. Be sure to let me know how the energy of September is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, if this lit you up, be sure to hit like, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if you've been feeling stuck, my higher self activation is your energetic reset. Inside, you'll find a guided audio activation plus rituals and journaling prompts designed to reconnect you with the version of you who knows exactly who she is. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Taurus rising. So this month, your power lies in redefining your vision, rewriting your value systems, and creating a life rooted in alignment, not obligation. Now, on September 1st, Saturn retrograde re enters Pisces while also making a sextile to Pluto and Uranus. Saturn's retrograde return to your 11th house brings a chance to reassess your community's long-term vision and social circles. This is about clarifying what you truly want for your future, not what you were told to want. Sextiles to Pluto in your 10th and Uranus in your 2nd highlight the connection between your professional path, your sense of worth, and the people you surround yourself with. So be sure to align with circles that reflect where you're going, not where you've been. On September 4th, Jupiter in Cancer makes a trine to the North Node in Pisces. So this is your 3rd and 11th houses. This beautiful alignment opens pathways through communication, learning, and visionary collaborations. So a conversation, class, or idea could spark new opportunities that are tied to your purpose. Relationships with siblings, close friends, or like minded communities may bring unexpected clarity about where your energy and voice are meant to lead next. Now, September 6th, Uranus in Gemini begins its retrograde in your 2nd house. So, your financial landscape, your sense of stability, and value systems are being rewritten from the inside out. Uranus retrograde invites you to review the structures you've built around security and how they align with your authentic worth. So expect flashes of insight about your earning potential, how you manage resources, and the stories you've internalized about money. On September 7th, we have a full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. So, this is a karmic culmination in your social life or long term goals. This eclipse may highlight friendships that no longer feel aligned, projects that have run their course, or visions that need updating to reflect the person you've become. So release what feels heavy or performative and make space for communities that honor your evolution. On September 19th, Venus enters Virgo, which is your 5th house. So romance, creativity, and joy become front and center. Venus in your 5th house invites you to reconnect with your playful, expressive self. This isn't just about dating or fun, it's about healing your relationship with pleasure and visibility. So explore your creative projects, reconnect with your inner child, and allow yourself to be fully witnessed. On September 21st, we have a new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo. This eclipse opens a 6-month window for creative breakthroughs and self-expression. You may feel called to launch a artistic project, nurture a new romance, or explore your role as a creator in the world. Release the fear of being too much and allow your heart to guide you into spaces where your gifts can shine. Now, on September 22nd, Mars enters Scorpio. So, this is your 7th house. With this energy, relationships heat up passionately, intensely, and sometimes challengingly. Mars in your 7th house asks you to confront dynamics around compromise, boundaries, and trust. This transit can magnetize new connections or deepen existing partnerships, but it also exposes imbalances that need resolution. So be sure to approach with honesty and not avoidance. Some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to reevaluate your vision for the future. Are your goals still aligned with your values, or are they rooted in old expectations? Next is to invest in communities that nourish your growth. The right relationships will expand your voice, not suppress it. Next is to redefine what stability means. So review money beliefs and financial structures that limit your potential. Next is to reclaim your creative spark. Pleasure, art, and play are not distractions. They are your spiritual fuel. And finally, be intentional in partnerships. So choose collaborations and relationships where passion meets reciprocity. A great affirmation for you for the month of September is, I trust the shifts unfolding in my life. I choose communities, partnerships, and visions that honor my worth and reflect who I'm becoming. Be sure to let me know how the energy of September is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, hit that like button, send this to someone who needs it, and subscribe for more star-powered clarity. And if you're ready to stop outsourcing your worth and finally come home to yourself, my Venus Activation Journal guides you through your Venus sign and house so you can rewire how you see and love yourself. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Gemini rising. So this month, your power lies in rediscovering your voice, redefining your vision, and stepping into deeper alignment with your creative and relational truth. Now, starting on September 1st, Saturn retrograde re-enters Pisces, while also making a sextile to both Pluto and Uranus. Saturn's retrograde back into your 10th house brings a reassessment of your career, public image, and long-term goals. This is your invitation to pause, refine, and realign your ambitions with your soul's truth, not societal expectations. Making a sextile to Pluto in your 9th and Uranus in your 1st shows that new ideas, personal reinvention, and expanded worldviews are key to reshaping your path forward. You are redefining what success means to you, not just what it looks like. Now, on September 4th, Jupiter in Cancer is making a trine to the North Node in Pisces. So abundance flows where self-worth meets purpose. Now, Jupiter in your 2nd house is highlighting your relationship with money, stability, and value, while the North Node in your 10th is calling you toward a career path that honors your gifts. So opportunities to increase your income, monetize your creative talents, or step into leadership may arise, if you trust your worth enough to claim them. Now, on September 6th, Uranus begins its retrograde in Gemini. So this retrograde is personal. Uranus highlighting your identity, appearance, and self-expression is urging you to break free from outdated labels and embrace your authentic uniqueness. So you may feel the urge to shift your style, speak your truth more boldly, or move through the world in a way that reflects who you've become, not who you used to be. On September 7th, we have a full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. So a career or public milestone can reach a karmic turning point with this energy. This eclipse could bring recognition, closure, or clarity about your professional path and the role that you want to play in the world. So if you've been pursuing goals that no longer resonate, this is your cue to let them go and realign with a vision that reflects your growth. Now on September 19th, Venus enters Virgo, which is your 4th house. So your attention shifts to home, family, and your emotional foundations. Venus brings healing, harmony, and beauty into your private life. You may feel called to nurture your space, resolve family matters, or explore ancestral healing. This transit also supports home-based business ventures or creative projects rooted in your personal story. Now, on September 21st, we have a new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo. So this eclipse opens a new 6-month chapter around home, roots, and belonging. So whether you're considering a move, deepening family connections, or creating a space that reflects your soul, the universe is inviting you to build stability that starts from the inside out. So anchor your next chapter in emotional safety, not just physical security. On September 22nd, Mars enters Scorpio, which is your 6th house. Now, Mars will be activating your house of work, health, and daily routines. And this is driving you to take intentional action around productivity and wellness. However, this isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter. So pay attention to your body's signals, declutter your schedule, and channel your energy into habits that sustain you rather than deplete you. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to redefine success on your own terms. So let go of chasing approval and align your goals with your authentic values. Next is to trust your voice and vision. Speak your truth, especially in your career and creative endeavors. Next is to nurture your roots. Healing family patterns and creating an emotionally supportive home will strengthen your foundation. Next is to honor your body's wisdom. Sustainable success starts with rituals and routines that support your energy. And finally, allow for reinvention. Let your rawness guide you toward a version of yourself that feels free, unfiltered, and fully expressed. A great affirmation for you for the month of September is, I trust the shifts unfolding within and around me. My voice, my vision, and my value are aligned with my higher path. Be sure to let me know how the energy of September is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, give this video a thumbs up, pass it to your besties, and subscribe for more cosmic truths. And if you're tired of repeating old patterns, my Venus Activation Workbook walks you through reconnecting with your self-worth and rewriting your love story from the inside out. So be sure to grab it. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Cancer rising. So this month, your power lies in rebuilding foundations, reclaiming emotional sovereignty, and trusting your spiritual vision. Now, starting on September 1st, Saturn retrograde re-enters Pisces, while making a sextile to both Pluto and Uranus. Saturn's return to your 9th house is inviting you to revisit your beliefs, your worldview, and your spiritual philosophy. You're being asked to clarify what's real for you beyond old dogmas or inherited narratives. Sextiles to Pluto in your 8th and Uranus in your 12th brings breakthroughs around intimacy, shadow work, and spiritual connection. You are dissolving outdated beliefs to make room for wisdom rooted in personal truth, not external authority. Now, on September 4th, Jupiter in Cancer is making a trine to the North Node in Pisces. So, this is an expansive moment of spiritual alignment for you. Jupiter in your sign highlights personal growth and confidence, while the North Node in your ninth house calls you to explore broader horizons, spiritually, mentally, or even geographically. So, a teacher, travel opportunity, or new philosophy may shift your trajectory in ways that open the door to your higher path. Now, on September 6th, Uranus begins its retrograde in Gemini. Hidden breakthroughs are unfolding beneath the surface. Uranus retrograde in your 12th house stirs deep subconscious awakenings, spiritual downloads, and unexpected intuitive insights. So you may uncover unconscious patterns, karmic memories, or even ancestral stories shaping your decisions. Trust the visions coming through. You are tapping into a higher frequency of guidance. Now, on September 7th, we have a full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. So, a karmic ending or revelation shifts your beliefs, education, or spiritual practices. This eclipse could close out a cycle related to higher learning, publishing, travel, or the pursuit of truth. Let go of outdated narratives so you can step into a worldview that reflects the person you're becoming, not the one you've been. Now, on September 19th, Venus enters Virgo. Now, this is your third house, so your voice becomes even more magnetic. Now, Venus here is supporting healing through communication, writing, teaching, or speaking your truth more openly. So you may experience harmony in sibling dynamics, strengthening relationships with your local community, or finally say the thing you've been holding back. Your words are medicine this month, so be sure to use them intentionally. Now, September 21st, we have a new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo. So this eclipse opens a 6-month chapter of renewal in the way that you think, speak, and process information. So you may launch a writing project, start a new class, or receive insights that rewire your inner dialogue. Healing your mental narratives now will transform the way that you connect with others and yourself. Now, September 22nd, Mars enters Scorpio, which is your 5th house. So, passion, creativity, and self-expression will surge with this energy. Mars in your 5th house fuels boldness when it comes to romance, artistic pursuits, and visibility, but also brings a call to confront fears around being fully seen. Heal your relationship with play, pleasure, and creative purpose. Let your joy lead without apology. Now, some of the best ways for you to use this energy this month is first to reevaluate your beliefs. Release philosophies, rules, or labels that no longer resonate with your lived experience. Next is to trust your intuitive breakthroughs. Pay attention to dreams, symbols, and subtle nudges. Your subconscious is speaking loudly. Next is to use your voice as a healing tool. Communicate vulnerably with siblings, peers, or an audience who's ready to hear you. Next is to allow your creativity to be witnessed. You are stepping into a new era of visibility, So let yourself shine without fear of judgment. And finally, prioritize emotional freedom. Anchor your choices in what feels expansive, not what feels safe but stagnant. A great affirmation for you for the month of September is, I trust the visions guiding me forward. My voice, creativity, and beliefs align with the future my soul came here to build. Be sure to let me know how the energy of September is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, be sure to hit that like button, send this to someone who needs it, and subscribe for more star-powered clarity. And your chart already holds the answers. My As Above, So Below guided journal helps you to pull them out and put them on paper so you can finally see who you're becoming. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Leo rising. So this month, your power lies in transforming your emotional energy, redefining relationships, and stepping boldly into your next level of self-worth. Now, on September 1st, Saturn retrograde re-enters Pisces while making a sextile to both Pluto and Uranus. Saturn's return to your 8th house asks you to revisit themes around shared resources, intimacy, and personal transformation. This isn't just about money. It's about trust, vulnerability, and emotional depth. Sextiles to Pluto in your 7th and Uranus in your 11th show that your evolution is tied to relationships and the communities that you align with. Collaborations, partnerships, and soul contracts are being rewritten to reflect the person you're becoming. Now, on September 4th, Jupiter in Cancer is making a trine to the North Node in Pisces. So this is highlighting your 12th and 8th houses. This beautiful trine is highlighting healing around your subconscious fears and hidden emotional blocks. Jupiter expands your inner world, while the North Node invites you to deepen trust in yourself and in others. This transit supports breakthroughs in intimacy, shared wealth, and spiritual release. So you're ready to dissolve old patterns that kept you guarded or disconnected. Now, September 6th, Uranus begins its retrograde in Gemini, which is your 11th house. So your networks, friendships, and future vision are undergoing a quiet but radical review. Uranus retrograde invites you to rethink which communities actually nourish your authentic self-expression. Are you surrounding yourself with people who reflect your truth or the version of you you've outgrown? Be open to unexpected changes in your social circles and long-term plans. On September 7th, we have a full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. So a karmic cycle in intimacy, trust, or shared resources reaches its peak. This eclipse could mark a turning point in your financial agreements, emotional bonds, or energetic attachments. Release patterns of control, secrecy, or dependency to step into more empowered connections with others and yourself. September 19th, Venus enters Virgo, which is your 2nd house. So your relationship with worth, stability, and resources becomes highlighted. Venus brings ease and attraction into your financial world, but also invites you to refine what you value: your time, your energy, and your gifts. Invest in the spaces, people, and practices that affirm your worth and contribute to sustainable abundance. Now, on September 21st, we have a new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo. So, this eclipse marks the beginning of a 6-month chapter around income, self worth, and personal values. It's a chance to reset your relationship with security, not just financial, but emotional. Set intentions that align your resources with your higher priorities. It's time to build stability rooted in freedom and not fear. And finally, on September 22nd, Mars enters Scorpio. So, Mars activates your home, family, and emotional foundations. So you may feel a strong pull to restructure your living situation, set boundaries with relatives, or confront ancestral patterns. This is also powerful energy for home-based business moves or deep inner healing. Protect your sanctuary and choose spaces that reflect the life you're creating. Now, some of the best ways for you to use the energy this month is first to reframe your approach to intimacy. So allow deeper connections while setting clear, energetic, and financial boundaries. Next is to redefine your relationship with security. Build wealth and stability in ways that honor your authenticity. Next is to surround yourself with aligned community. Let go of groups or dynamics that limit your self-expression. Next is to tend to your emotional foundations. Healing home and family patterns will ripple into your relationships and career. And finally, honor your self-worth. Every choice you make this month is an affirmation of what and who you value most. A great affirmation for you for the month of September is: I create stability from within. I honor my worth, nurture my foundations, and trust the relationships and resources aligned with my evolution. Be sure to let me know how the energy of September is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, love on this video with a like, spread the magic, and subscribe so the universe keeps sending you these vibes. And you don't have to keep guessing who you are. My As Above, So Within guided journal helps you get real about what you want and what you're here for. So be sure to grab it below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Virgo rising. So this month, your power lies in reclaiming your identity, refining relationships, and aligning your daily life with your higher calling. Now, opening up on September 1st, Saturn retrograde re-enters Pisces while making a sextile to both Pluto and Uranus. Now, Saturn's return to your 7th house reopens lessons around partnerships, collaborations, and contracts. This retrograde is asking you to revisit how you give, receive, and negotiate in your closest relationships. Sextiles to Pluto in your 6th and Uranus in your 10th highlight that your work habits, health, and career are deeply tied to your relational patterns. You're being called to create partnerships that nourish, not drain, your purpose and energy. On September 4th, we have Jupiter in Cancer making a trine to the North Node in Pisces. So, with this energy, support and abundance flow through your networks and your one on one relationships. Jupiter in your 11th house activates gifts that come through community, friendships, and collaborations, while the North Node in your 7th is guiding you toward partnerships that expand your vision. So, a key relationship, either personal or professional, can open doors to your long-term success and emotional fulfillment. Now, on September 6th, Uranus begins its retrograde in Gemini, which is your 10th house. So, your professional path and public identity are being rewritten from the inside out. Uranus retrograde asks you to reconsider your career goals, leadership role, and reputation. Unexpected insights may change the way you approach your work or how you want to be seen. Freedom, authenticity, and alignment, not traditional measures of success, are now your new guiding principles. Now, September 7th, we have a full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. So this eclipse brings a karmic turning point in your relationships. So a partnership may deepen, evolve, or end, depending on how it aligns with your growth. So themes of reciprocity, trust, and emotional safety rise to the surface. So release patterns where you've sacrificed your truth to maintain connection. September 19th, Venus enters Virgo. So Venus is gracing your sign, amplifying your beauty, magnetism, and natural charm. So you may feel drawn to enhance your personal style, attract new opportunities, or approach relationships with more confidence and clarity. This is also a powerful period for self-love. How you treat yourself sets the tone for how others meet you. September 21st, we have a new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo. So this eclipse marks a personal rebirth for you. It's your green light to reinvent yourself, your identity, self-expression, and even your outward appearance. Set intentions around who you're becoming, not who you've been. You're allowed to step out of outdated roles and into a more authentic version of yourself. And finally, on September 22nd, Mars enters Scorpio, which is your 3rd house. With this energy, your voice sharpens and your mind quickens. Mars energizes your communication zone. So this is fueling your ideas, writing, and conversations. But it can also bring tension in relationships, local community dynamics, or even online spaces. So channel this energy into learning, teaching, and speaking your truth powerfully. But choose your battles wisely. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this energy this month is first to reevaluate your relationships. Build partnerships rooted in trust, balance, and emotional safety. Next is to redefine your career path. So create success that reflects your authenticity rather than old expectations. Next is to step boldly into your personal power. Venus and the eclipses are calling you to embody your worth unapologetically. Next is to use your voice intentionally. Share your ideas, teach what you've learned, and speak life into your new vision. And finally, release outdated roles. You're stepping into a new chapter. Leave behind labels that no longer fit. A great affirmation for you for the month of September is, I choose alignment over obligation. I honor my worth, trust my voice, and step into the version of me my future requires. Be sure to let me know how the energy of September is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, your 3-second ritual: like, share, and subscribe to keep this energy coming your way. And if you're ready to stop outsourcing your worth and finally come home to yourself, my Venus Activation Journal guides you through your Venus sign and house so you can rewire how you see and love yourself. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Libra rising. So this month, your power lies in healing your daily rhythms, redefining self-worth, and creating a life that supports your emotional and physical well-being. Now on September 1st, Saturn retrograde re-enters Pisces, while making a sextile to both Pluto and Uranus. Saturn's return to your 6th house is inviting you to revisit themes around work, health, and your daily rituals. This isn't about doing more. It's about doing what's sustainable. Sextiles to Pluto in your 5th and Uranus in your 9th suggest that creative passions and expanding your worldview are the keys to unlocking balance. You're being called to rebuild your routines in a way that supports your body, your energy, and your sense of purpose. Now on September 4th, Jupiter in Cancer is making a trine to the North Node in Pisces. So gifts are flowing through your career and your purpose, but they require alignment with your daily life. Jupiter in your 10th house is highlighting opportunities for visibility and leadership, while the North Node in your 6th is pushing you to upgrade your habits, your health, and your work rhythms to support your next chapter of success. Expansion begins with how you show up for yourself day to day. Now on September 6th, Uranus begins its retrograde in Gemini, which is your 9th house. So your beliefs, your spiritual framework, and educational pursuits are being rewritten. Uranus retrograde invites you to question old philosophies and embrace new perspectives. Travel, learning, publishing, or teaching may feel unpredictable now, but these shifts are liberating you from outdated ways of thinking and guiding you toward a worldview that aligns with your highest truth. Now on September 7th, we have a full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. So a karmic culmination arrives in your work or health sector. So you may decide to leave a draining job, restructure your workflow, or finally release habits that no longer serve you. Be sure to prioritize rest and wellness. This eclipse asks you to honor your energy instead of sacrificing it for productivity. Now on September 19th, Venus enters Virgo, which is your 12th house. Venus invites healing and reflection behind the scenes. So you may feel drawn to retreat, recharge, or spend more time in solitude. This is a powerful period for spiritual practices, subconscious healing, and creative inspiration that flows when you slow down. Allow your inner world to restore your outer vitality. Now, on September 21st, we have a new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo. So, this eclipse begins a 6-month cycle of spiritual renewal. Patterns of self-sabotage or unconscious fears may surface, but only to be released. It's time to create space for deeper peace, clarity, and alignment with your higher self. Surrendering control opens doors to divine timing and unexpected breakthroughs. And finally, on September 22nd, Mars enters Scorpio, which is your second house. So your focus sharpens on your self-worth, resources, and financial empowerment. Mars is activating a desire to claim what's yours, whether that's higher pay, stronger boundaries, or a deeper confidence in your value. This transit also encourages you to get intentional about your spending and earning. Invest in what sustains you long term. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to redefine balance. Build daily routines that protect your energy while supporting your larger goals. Next is to release outdated beliefs. Let your worldview evolve as you integrate new perspectives and spiritual insights. Next is to prioritize rest and reflection. Venus and the eclipses ask you to slow down and nurture your inner world. Next is to empower your worth. Stand confidently in your value, both emotionally and financially. And finally, choose sustainability over speed. The small, consistent changes you make now will create lasting transformation. A great affirmation for you for the month of September is, I honor my energy as sacred. I choose work, relationships, and beliefs that support my peace, my purpose, and my growth. Be sure to let me know how the energy of September is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, be sure to show this video some love with a like, spread the magic, and subscribe so the universe keeps sending you these vibes. And if you're tired of repeating old patterns, my Venus Activation Workbook walks you through reconnecting with your self-worth and rewiring your love story from the inside out. So be sure to grab it. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Scorpio rising. So this month, your power lies in expanding your vision, strengthening your voice, and redefining what long-term success and belonging look like for you. Now, on September 1st, Saturn retrograde re-enters Pisces while making a sextile to both Pluto and Uranus. Saturn's return to your 5th house reopens themes around creativity, visibility, and living from your heart. This retrograde asks you to revisit how you express yourself and what you create in the world. Sextiles to Pluto in your 4th and Uranus in your 7th show that your foundations and partnerships are deeply intertwined with your creative purpose. Healing old family patterns or inner child wounds may unlock new levels of self-expression and confidence. Now, on September 4th, Jupiter in Cancer is making a trine to the North Node in Pisces. Jupiter in your ninth is expanding your horizons through travel, study, spirituality, or teaching, while the North Node in your fifth pulls you toward creative passion and joy. This is a cosmic invitation to share your wisdom, explore new philosophies, and create from a place of authenticity. Your work or art could reach a broader audience now, especially when you lean into your unique perspective. On September 6th, Uranus begins its retrograde in Gemini. Uranus retrograde activates your 8th house of intimacy, shared resources, and transformation. Old fears around vulnerability, finances, or trust may resurface, but only so you can liberate yourself from outdated dynamics. This is a chance to rethink how you share power, merge assets, and open yourself to deeper emotional connection. Now, September 7th, we have a full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. This eclipse marks a turning point in how you relate to your happiness, visibility, and personal creativity. So you may close an old chapter connected to your creative projects, romantic life, or self-expression. It's time to release fears of being too much or not enough and embrace the version of you that wants to shine without apology. Now, on September 19th, Venus enters Virgo. Now, Virgo brings gifts around friendships, collaborations, and community spaces. This is a powerful time to network, strengthen your alliances, and attract like-minded people who share your vision. You may also find harmony in group dynamics or launch a project alongside others who inspire you. Now, September 21st, we have a new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo. So this eclipse marks a 6-month cycle of reimagining your community and your role within it. You're being called to set intentions around the kind of circles you want to grow in, the causes you care about, and the long-term dreams you're ready to manifest. Surround yourself with people who amplify your voice and celebrate your gifts. And finally, on September 22nd, Mars enters Scorpio. So Mars returns home to your sign, igniting your drive, energy, and your personal magnetism. So you'll feel bolder, more assertive, and deeply motivated to take action on your desires. Use this momentum to start new projects or claim opportunities, but channel it with intention to avoid burnout or unnecessary conflicts. Now, some of the best ways to work with the energy of this month is first to heal and express your inner child. Creative self-expression is the gateway to confidence and freedom. Next is to reframe your vision of success. So focus on sharing your wisdom and creations rather than seeking external validation. Next is to choose deeper connections. Release dynamics where you feel disempowered and move toward relationships built on mutual trust. Next is to expand your community. Align with people who see your value and help you grow into your higher potential. And finally, act with boldness. With Mars in your sign, this is your season to step into leadership and unapologetically pursue what you want. A great affirmation for you for the month of September is, I embrace my power and visibility. I trust my voice, my vision, and my right to create a life aligned with my deepest joy. Be sure to let me know how the energy of September is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, hit that like button, send this to someone who needs it, and subscribe for more star-powered clarity. And if you're ready to stop outsourcing your worth and finally come home to yourself, my Venus Activation Journal guides you through your Venus sign and house so you can rewire how you see and love yourself. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Sagittarius rising. So this month, your power lies in clarifying your career path, stepping into greater visibility, and reshaping your long-term goals with intention and purpose. Now, on September 1st, Saturn retrograde re-enters Pisces, while making a sextile to both Pluto and Uranus. Now, Saturn's return to your fourth house brings focus to your foundations, home, family, roots, and inner security. So this may involve restructuring your living situation, addressing ancestral patterns, or building emotional stability from within. Sextiles to Pluto in your third and Uranus in your sixth show that your growth lies in reprogramming the way you think and speak about yourself, while redefining how your daily habits support your well-being and ambitions. Home-based business ideas could also resurface now. Now, on September 4th, Jupiter in Cancer is making a trine to the North Node in Pisces. So Jupiter expands your 8th house of shared resources, investments, and deep transformation, while the North Node in your 4th calls you toward emotional security and rootedness. These two areas are working together now. So this is helping you to create a stable foundation for long-term financial and emotional abundance. This is a powerful time to release inherited fears around security and step into greater empowerment. Now, on September 6th, Uranus begins its retrograde in Gemini, which is your 7th house. So your relationships, partnerships, and contracts are undergoing a reset. Uranus retrograde encourages you to revisit how you approach commitment, collaboration, and trust. So if dynamics feel unstable, it's because you're being pushed to free yourself from patterns that keep you tied to old versions of yourself. Now, on September 7th, we have a full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. So a karmic turning point is going to arise in your home and emotional life. So you may finalize a move, heal family wounds, or close an ancestral cycle that's been holding you back. This eclipse invites you to create an inner sanctuary, one that truly supports your vision for the future. Now, on September 19th, Venus enters Virgo. So Venus shines in your 10th house of career, visibility, and public recognition. So you could receive opportunities for advancement or finally gain recognition for your work. This is a great time to refine your professional image, nurture important career connections, and clarify what success looks like for you beyond external expectations. Now, on September 21st, we have a new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo. So, this eclipse begins a 6-month cycle of career evolution and public growth. New roles, leadership opportunities, or long-term ambitions could take shape. You're being asked to step forward into your next chapter with clarity and confidence while aligning your work with your authentic purpose. Now, September 22nd, Mars enters Scorpio, which is your 12th house. So, Mars activates your subconscious, inviting deep spiritual work and hidden breakthroughs. While your outer life is moving quickly, this transit asks you to carve out time for rest, reflection, and emotional integration. Repressed anger or unspoken truths may surface, giving you a chance to heal what's been kept beneath the surface. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to redefine home and security. Build emotional and physical foundations that feel stable and supportive. Next is to step into visibility. With Venus and the eclipses activating your 10th, this is your time to clarify your next career move. Next is to transform your money and power dynamics. Release fears around shared resources and claim your emotional empowerment. Next is to rewrite your relationship patterns. Uranus helps you to create partnerships rooted in authenticity and freedom. And finally, prioritize integration. Mars in your 12th house reminds you that rest, spiritual practice, and inner work are non-negotiable. A great affirmation for you for the month of September is, I trust the foundation I'm building. My roots support my growth, and I move forward with clarity, courage, and purpose. Be sure to let me know how the energy of September is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, be sure to hit like, send this to your besties, and subscribe so you never miss your cosmic upgrade. And if you're ready to stop outsourcing your worth and finally come home to yourself, my Venus Activation Journal guides you through your Venus sign and house so you can rewire how you see and love yourself. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Capricorn rising. So this month, your power lies in expanding your voice, redefining your path, and anchoring into a deeper sense of purpose and belonging. Now on September 1st, Saturn retrograde re-enters Pisces while making a sextile to both Pluto and Uranus. Saturn retrogrades into your 3rd house, revisiting themes around communication, self-expression, learning, and mental programming. This is a chance to notice the narratives and thought patterns shaping your reality. Sextiles to Pluto in your 2nd and Uranus in your 5th highlight the connection between your voice, your self-worth, and your creative visibility. If you've been dimming your voice or holding back your perspective, this transit supports rewriting your story and reclaiming your power. Now on September 4th, Jupiter in Cancer is making a trine to the North Node in Pisces. So Jupiter expands your 7th house of relationships and partnerships, while the North Node in your 3rd calls you to speak up, be seen, and share your truth. This harmonious flow helps you to connect with people who align with your vision. Collaborative projects, contracts, or relationship shifts could open doors to new opportunities as well as emotional growth. Now, on September 6th, Uranus begins its retrograde in Gemini. So, Uranus retrograde is activating your sixth house of daily routines, wellness, and work habits. Sudden changes in your schedule or approach to your productivity may feel destabilizing, but this transit wants you to build systems that align with your values and energy. So, experiment with new tools, rituals, or workflows that support your long term well being. Now, September 7th, we have a full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. This eclipse brings a revelation around your mindset, communication style, or sibling relationships. You may release outdated beliefs or patterns of self-doubt that have kept you from fully expressing yourself. So if you've been silencing your truth, this marks a powerful turning point in owning your voice. Now, September 19th, Venus enters Virgo. Venus gifts your ninth house of expansion, higher learning, and spiritual growth. So you may feel drawn to new studies, travel, or philosophies that broaden your worldview. Publishing, teaching, or sharing your wisdom could also bring unexpected opportunities and connections during this time. Now, on September 21st, we have a new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo. So this eclipse initiates a 6-month cycle of intellectual and spiritual expansion. This is a potent moment to set intentions around personal growth, higher education, and sharing your knowledge. Your life is asking you to step beyond your comfort zone and embrace experiences that deepen your wisdom. Now, on September 22nd, Mars enters Scorpio. So Mars will be charging up your 11th house of community, networks, and long-term goals. Your drive for collective success is heightened, and this is a perfect time to take action toward projects that involve groups, social causes, or collaborations. Be mindful of potential power struggles in friendships or group dynamics. Be sure to lead with clarity and not force. Now, some of the best ways for you to use the energy of this month is first to reprogram your mindset. Focus on shifting limiting beliefs and reclaiming your authentic voice. Next is to invest in learning and sharing. So whether through travel, study, or teaching, prioritize experiences that expand your perspective. Next is to align your work with your values. Reimagine your daily routines and habits to support sustainable growth. Next is to nurture intentional connections. So collaborate with people and communities that amplify your vision and celebrate your gifts. And finally, step boldly into visibility. Your ideas have the power to inspire others. Trust the value of your voice. A great affirmation for you for the month of September is, I trust my voice, my wisdom, and my path. I welcome opportunities that expand my mind and deepen my sense of purpose. Be sure to let me know how the energy of September is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, be sure to love this video with a like, spread the magic, and subscribe so the universe keeps sending you these vibes. And if you're ready to stop outsourcing your worth and finally come home to yourself, my Venus Activation Journal guides you through your Venus sign and house so you can rewire how you see and love yourself. So be sure to check it out. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Aquarius rising. So this month, your power lies in transforming your relationship with resources, rewriting your money story, and stepping into a deeper sense of self-trust and personal empowerment. Now on September 1st, Saturn retrograde re-enters Pisces while making a sextile to both Pluto and Uranus. Now, Saturn retrogrades into your second house. And this is asking you to revisit your relationship with money, self-worth, and personal resources. This is a time to restructure your finances, evaluate your spending, and strengthen your foundation of security. Now, sextiles to Pluto in your first and Uranus in your fourth show that deep transformation is happening around your identity and family dynamics, creating ripple effects in how you value yourself and what you choose to invest in, financially, emotionally, and energetically. Now, on September 4th, Jupiter in Cancer makes a trine to the North Node in Pisces. So Jupiter lights up your sixth house of daily work and well-being, while the North Node in your second house is highlighting your evolving values and your money mindset. This harmonious energy supports opportunities for financial growth through meaningful work and intentional routines. It's a reminder that building abundance starts with aligning your energy and efforts with your true priorities. Now, on September 6th, Uranus begins its retrograde in Gemini. So, Uranus retrograde is shaking up your fifth house of creativity, self-expression, and visibility. Projects, passions, or even romantic dynamics from the past may resurface for review. This is a chance to reconnect with what lights you up creatively and to release outdated fears around sharing your gifts. Now, on September 7th, we have a full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. This eclipse brings a pivotal moment for your sense of self-worth, resources, and stability. You may release financial patterns rooted in scarcity or inherited beliefs that no longer serve you. It's time to claim your value and redefine what security truly means for you. Now, on September 19th, Venus enters Virgo. So Virgo enters your eighth house of shared resources, intimacy, and transformation. And this is inviting deeper conversations about money, trust, and emotional vulnerability. Financial collaborations or investments could become important now, as well as addressing fears around dependency and reclaiming personal power within close relationships. Now, on September 21st, we have a new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo. So this eclipse initiates a 6-month cycle of transformation around money, intimacy, and emotional depth. So you're being asked to release control where needed, allowing space for deeper connections and authentic exchanges of energy, time, and resources. And finally, on September 22nd, Mars enters Scorpio. So Mars is charging up your 10th house of career, recognition, and long-term goals. And this is igniting ambition and determination. This is the time to pursue leadership opportunities, take strategic risk, and position yourself for greater visibility. However, avoid power struggles. Use your energy to align with a bigger vision rather than forcing outcomes. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to redefine your value systems. Align your relationship with money, self-worth, and resources to support long-term security. Next is to step into creative visibility. Revisit passions or projects that reconnect you with joy and self-expression. Next is to heal financial and emotional entanglements. Address shared resource dynamics and trust issues with clarity and empowerment. Next is to lead from purpose, not pressure. Mars in your 10th is calling you to pursue success that aligns with your authentic vision. And finally, invest in inner stability. Financial security begins with emotional security. So root yourself before reaching outward. A great affirmation for you for the month of September is, I honor my worth, trust my power, and create stability from the inside out. Be sure to let me know how the energy of September is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, tap that like button, share the vibes, and subscribe so the stars always find you. And if you're tired of repeating old patterns, my Venus Activation Workbook walks you through reconnecting with your self-worth and rewriting your love story from the inside out. So be sure to grab it. The link is below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Pisces rising. So this month, your power lies in reclaiming your identity, rewriting old narratives, and stepping into a new chapter of self-expression and emotional freedom. Now, on September 1st, Saturn retrograde re-enters Pisces while making a sextile to both Pluto and Uranus. Now, Saturn retrogrades through your first house, asking you to refine your sense of identity and personal authority. Who are you becoming, and are you living in alignment with that truth? Now, sextiles to Pluto in your 12th and Uranus in your 3rd highlight the need to release old subconscious patterns while reprogramming the way you communicate, both with yourself and others. This is a pivotal period for shedding old versions of yourself and integrating a more empowered self-image. Now, on September 4th, Jupiter in Cancer is making a trine to the North Node in Pisces. So Jupiter lights up your 5th house of creativity, joy, and self-expression, harmonizing with the North Node in your 1st house of identity. So this supportive energy invites you to reconnect with your passions and lead with your authentic gifts. Opportunities to step into visibility or share your creative voice are likely to emerge now. Now, on September 6th, Uranus begins its retrograde in Gemini, which is your 4th house of home, roots, and emotional foundations. Sudden shifts around family, living situations, or even home-based business pursuits may arise. It's a powerful time to break free from inherited patterns, and especially those that are tied to safety, security, or belonging. Now, on September 7th, we have a full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. Now, this eclipse is a turning point in your personal journey. So you may feel called to release identities, expectations, or roles that no longer serve who you're becoming. Your emotions are heightened, and revelations around your purpose and path forward may be profound. On September 19th, Venus enters Virgo, which is your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. So, new opportunities for collaboration, healing, and support will emerge, especially in personal or professional partnerships. So this is a good time to revisit how you give and receive love, as well as to clarify shared values in your closest bonds. Now, on September 21st, we have a new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo. So this eclipse initiates a 6-month cycle of transformation in your relationships. Partnerships are being redefined, whether romantic, business, or otherwise. It's time to call in relationships that reflect the version of you you're becoming, not the version you've outgrown. And finally, on September 22nd, Mars enters Scorpio. So Mars is igniting your 9th house of expansion, travel, and higher learning, which is driving you to seek out new experiences that stretch your perspective. So you may feel called to study, teach, publish, or explore new spiritual frameworks. This is a time for bold action rooted in curiosity and growth. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with the energy this month is first to step into your becoming. Release outdated identities and embrace the person you're growing into. Next is to rewrite inherited stories. Examine family patterns and beliefs that no longer serve your sense of safety or belonging. Next is to prioritize authentic self-expression. Your creativity and voice are deeply connected to your personal healing. Next is to call in aligned partnerships. Allow your relationships to evolve alongside your own transformation. And finally, expand beyond your comfort zone. Follow the invitations for travel, study, and spiritual discovery. This is how your purpose unfolds. A great affirmation for the month of September is, I honor my transformation and trust the new paths unfolding before me. My voice, creativity, and relationships reflect the truest version of me. Be sure to let me know how the energy of September is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, show this video some love with a like, spread the magic to your friends, and subscribe so the universe keeps sending you these vibes. And if you're tired of repeating old patterns, my Venus Activation Guided Journal guides you through reconnecting with your self-worth and rewriting your love story from the inside out. So be sure to grab it. The links are below. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching.